Hey guys, Joe here from XFoxGames. Check it out. We got the HRF V6, otherwise sometimes known as the V6. If you guys have been following along, we have done a lot of reviews on kind of off-brand blasters here. Some cool, some not. And man, I saw this in the box and it's been sitting there for about a week and I'm like, I gotta get to this thing because this thing just looks straight ridiculous. Now, I know what some of you guys are thinking. You're like, that sure kind of looks like a Dominator because it has the 40 round kind of mags here that look like the Dominator mags, and we'll get to those. But first, let's just hop in and take a look at this box. It's a big box. It's probably the biggest box so far of the kind of off-brand blasters that we've purchased. It's pretty big, and it is packed with a ton of stuff. Everything from the blaster to the front attachment, the rear attachment. It has almost every single attachment I can think of, from a forward grip to a forehand grip to a ACOG scope to the battery to a front grip to a laser. I mean, it had it all. I think a little, to be honest, a little too much in the form of accessories. So I want to show you everything here. Look at this. I mean, tons of stuff. I mean, everything you could think of. Pretty much every single tack rail on this you could load with a laser, with a red dot, with an ACOG, with the forward grip. You name it, you can do it. Now, this is going to be battery operated, and it's awesome because it comes with its own little battery and USB charger. This is 7.2 volts, so you're going to get decent performance out of this. This really has 6 motors inside, which is crazy because 6 motors is going to be a little something, and I would love to see this thing upwards of 9.6 volts or 11.1 volts because you're going to get some crazy FPS, which we'll show you here in a moment. First things first that I know a lot of people are going to ask is going to say, hey, that's a 40 round magazine. It looks like a Dominator. Does a Dominator's magazine work? 100%. So we purchased a few, or had a few, of the Worker Dominator mags here, and they worked perfectly fine on this. Might have had to give them just a little bit extra of a push to get them to lock in, but for the most part, these are exactly the same, and you'll see in our shooting here that, yeah, they shot absolutely fine. I've shot probably about 30 mags through this, and I've had no issues with either or mags. That's why I was like, okay, they are perfect. So if you got your old Dominator ones, perfect, you are good to go, and you guys can use them on here. Also, another big thing you guys want to know, the front and the rear attachments. The front attachment, yes, you can, let's take this off, you can put Nerf type attachments on here. So something like that, oops, that's the wrong way. Can't put something like that, look at that. You can put them on there. However, vice versa, the front for the V6 does not work on Nerf type front attachments and strike attachments. It's because there's like the front lock piece is a little bit thicker than the normal kind of lock piece that you would see. And I think the diameter is about 1 millimeter off, somewhere right in there. So it's like it wants to go, but it is not. But still, you can shoot on this with some of these, as well as the rear. Now, I don't have a rear one handy, but I like this stock, so you can put a standard Nerf stock on the back, but this stock didn't fit quite right onto a Nerf blaster, as to where this front just flat out wouldn't fit. Now, you saw me take off that barrel and the front shroud. You're like, what's that all about? So this is going to be the accuracy barrel is what they call it. So if you don't want to go kind of the subcompact here, you can put the barrel in, and then you can put this on, and this just, got to slide it in there. Well, once I find, there it is. And then it goes on. Now, you're going to see there is a pretty big FPS difference between this as well as with no barrel. And we'll go over that during our shooting video, but still, I kind of liked it without it. It was kind of nice. I actually even kind of liked it like this. It just looked kind of cool, and I was going to build a suppressor to go kind of on the end there. But still, either way that you want to do that, that is perfectly fine. I think it looks cool either way. Again, there are a ton of tack rails on here. There are a ton, but they are your standard tack rails. These are not Nerf tack rails, so I'm trying to put a scope here, a Nerf scope on here, and it's just, again, it's too big. The rail is probably like, I don't know, about an 1/8 of an inch too big, so you cannot fit any of those on there without some huge modifications. But if you wanted to put your, a real scope on here or a real red tack, whatever, it's perfectly fine. You can go ahead and do that. I did like the laser. I think the laser works really good. It actually, if you could see it back there, look at it on me. Hopefully you guys can kind of see that. But the laser actually works as well as with all the other attachments. The flashlight, the foregrip, all this stuff works. I just thought it was just over the top. It was a little too much, you know, whether you're aiming down one, doing the laser, I was like, no, that's kind of crazy. But still, I mean, look at this thing in the hands, guys, up close. It looks good. And again, it reminds me of a Dominator. I mean, that's exactly what it reminds me of. But it looks great. I like the color scheme. And it just, yeah, the thing looks freaking awesome in the hands. Especially like this kind of urban type camo, whatever you want to call it. It looks really, really good. On the left-hand side is going to be the battery door. So you just go ahead and open that up. You can throw the battery in there. And so far, I've shot about 8 mags through this. And I don't see a sign of of it dying anytime soon. Maybe you're going to get 15 mags. I don't even know, but still, 8 mags is a lot of shots, and it hasn't died on me yet. This does have the kind of classic rev trigger on the grip right there, as well as the trigger. Now, this is going to be full auto, which is a little bit different than the standard Dominator, which was single shot, unless you upgraded it. But with this, yeah, full auto, and it shoots really, really fast. They claim 8 to 9 DPS, darts per second, but I got somewhere right in there. It was really kind of hard with kind of my testing, trying to shoot them all through my chrono, but still, it shoots really hard. And let's just hop in. Let's get me shooting this thing. So you can see here, I'm going to start off with the front shroud and the barrel in. You only get about 115 to 120 FPS. I know, I'm saying only. Like, that is bad. It is actually pretty good. It is really, really good. Did I notice a tighter grouping of darts? 100%. It was more tight, just less FPS. I didn't think there was going to be a difference, but for sure there was. Now I switched over to the standard worker mags, and I took off the front shroud, and you can see here the darts, I mean, jumped by, what, 33%? These things are shooting almost 160, somewhere right in there, 165, but the spread is pretty significant in comparison to the tighter spread with the barrel, and that just only makes sense. So, which one would I shoot? I'm probably going to go without the barrel. I mean, I just don't need that extension on there. I think it looks great without it. Throw on a Nerf front end, and it's going to look great. And you can see, I mean, the rate of fire is super high. It is really, really good. I mean, you could rip through 40 rounds very, very quick. And the consistency in the motors and the FPS is there. You guys remember with some of the previous stuff we've done, especially when it goes full auto, sometimes you get that drop in FPS. Especially if you only have, 2 motors, that's it. This, of course, has 6, so you know you're going to get constant FPS, or very, very tight grouping. But still, 165, 160 FPS is 100% respectable by all means, especially off 7 volts. That's why I'm super pumped to kind of maybe bump this up here in a little bit to 9 volts. Hopefully get a little more out of it. But, 112 FPS with tighter grouping with the barrel, not too bad. I would just like to not have that big front shroud right there. You can see it. It is, it's shooting great. I cannot say anything bad about this blaster, as it's probably about 1/4 the cost of a Dominator, which is crazy. Maybe about half the cost of a Dominator, somewhere right in there, depending on what you get. But there you go. That's me shooting it. Go back and watch that if you guys want to see that again. One of the things with this that I thought was crazy is mine did come with 40 darts, if you want to call it that. Now, when you're looking at this, what do you see that's wrong with these things right out of the gate? Hurry up and look, because I'm going to say it. They have no tips. I mean, it came with 40, but there was no tips. I'm like, wait, what's going on? I don't know what's happening here. So, yeah, I don't know if they're all going to come like that, but my 40 did not come with any tips. So I was just using my classic darts. I really want to try some Adventure Force stuff out of here, maybe some Dart Zone ones, because the tips on my classic white ones, if they might be hitting the barrel some, it might be decreasing that FPS, but still 120. That I am super proud of that by all means. But you guys, I mean, just look at this thing. Woo! I'm gonna rip some through this thing, because this thing again is freaking awesome. Throw that up there like that. You have the on-off on the side. Here we go. Let's rip some. Ready? Done. Just like that. Just like that. 40 shots. Kind of counting right there. Yeah, I'm guessing it's right about 8 to 9, maybe 8 to 7 a second. And it was just drilling this thing. I cannot stress enough how much I like this particular blaster. If it was me between this and the Phoenix 2.0, you guys could check that thing shooting full auto. Oh gosh, that thing was friggin' awesome too. I mean, it's everything this is, just in a smaller package. And then if you take a look at the one with the board in it, that thing was even better because now you can control things like 2-shot, 3-shot, 4-shot burst. But still, you know, the HRF V6 here, or the V6, this thing's no joke. This is no joke of a blaster. It comes with everything you need. I would just highly recommend to pick up another 40-round mag or pick up another 40-round mag when you order. And yeah, I mean, how can you go wrong? I mean, I just ripped off 40 shots right there, absolutely nothing, with the Shroud on there, and they were all just like hitting the same spot every single time. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of this thing, or if you guys picked it up, because this is this is pretty something else, and hopefully it clears up a lot of things about the mags and kind of the attachments of what you guys can put on there, because I had no idea about this thing, and I think I only seen one other review, if that, on YouTube as the time of me filming this. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks again, Fox fans.